And hi, welcome back to my video tutorial. Today I'm looking at Audio Notetaker on the Mac, and I'm going to show you the basics. It's pretty similar to the PC version, but there are a few minor differences. So let's have a look at the user interface first off. Top left hand corner you can see we have the record option. So click that button to start recording and click it again to stop recording. Then you can play back the recordings that will be in your audio chunks, which I'll show you in a minute, with the playback button next to it. We can skip from one chunk to another using the skip button left to right. We then can change the playback speed, faster plus minus slower. We also have a noise cancel button, as you can see here, and this will dampen out any background noise. It's really good if there's a window left open or air conditioning going or just slight noise in the background. We also have the visible panes option. The first option there is for your slides or pictures. The second option is a reference pane, and the third option is for your notes, and the fourth is for your audio, which we'll have a look at in a minute. We have the chunk color option. Now you can change the chunk colors by pressing numbers to 5 in order. So let's have a look here. So if I click to the right of chunk colors and select colors, in the select color option you can add new colors if you require, or delete colors you may not require, or select back to default. You can even hold the left button and drag it up to where you want to put your colours and put them in order. To the right works the same way. You can add new section colours that will highlight sections that might be important or relevant, and you can also delete them. And again, the same goes for the text colour option, which I'll also show you. With the chunk colours, you use numbers 1 to 5, and then you can colour code, that being 1 all the way down to 5. I'm going to show you that as well. And for section colours we will use 6 all the way down to 9. And again I will show you that the same goes for the text colours. While we're in this window quickly, I'm going to select appearance. You can choose your options. For example, you might decide you want chunk dimensions a little bit higher. So if I click that button we can drag it. Line spacing you might want a little bit further apart so you can see it clearly, and you might even want your section spacing to be further apart. And also you can use audio scale. If I just bring that down, and you can see it makes it a lot smaller for your audio section, and you can see the seconds there at the bottom. Also audio files, you can choose the quality of the audio files you're recording with. Obviously the larger the more room it's going to take up, and the smaller, as you can see at the bottom there, 7.2 megs an hour, it's going to take smaller. I'd probably leave that default in the middle, a little bit higher. You have your formats here. You have the Windows Media Audio and also your Wave, and then choose whether you want your speech quality conversion, smaller files, faster, music quality conversion, larger files, which will be slower. Also you have your embedding and linking, and you also have your selections for recording folders where you'd like to save them to. And there you go. Click cancel. So choose that if required. Quickly go to history, and then you can see the titles I've last used. And there's a few testers there, and there's a template it comes with there as well, the aim and break. Also the topics that I've typed in, and the speakers, and you can see the speakers that we have there. Last of all, general, your crash recovery, so it'll cut every 1 minute, which is really handy if you do get a crash, and then that'll be automatically recovered. And then you've got your update notification every 7 days, which is probably fine, or every 14 days. You can always reset to defaults. Next is your section colours. If I click on it again and select selection colours, you can see it brings me up the same window where I can change my section colours and get rid of the colours which I might not want. Presentation mode, I'll click that. We've got nothing there, and it'll take you in presentation mode where you'll see the audio and your notes or any reference information you have in the pane as well. Click the little X to come back out of it. This is to import your audio, your slides or your images, and you can insert another section or remove that section. There's all your font settings, and then you've got your colour settings as well. So Let's make a start. I'm going to import slides first and use that as an example, but you don't have to. You could go to a lecture, record a meeting, a lecture, then just import the audio files. You can use internal mic in the Mac or an external hardware to record it, and then you can import it in using the audio section. But I'm going to import slides and then record an audio as if it was in real time. So again, I'm going to use the templates. I should use PDF. You can also use PowerPoint. I'm going to double tap that so it imports here on the left, as you can see. So if I scroll down, we have all our slides all ready to go, separated into sections. Cursor's in the audio section. If I click back into the text section here, you see it says text at the top there, and it highlights it, so you know you're in the audio section. Now, just imagine I'm in a lecture environment. I've got my cursor on the audio section, and the lecture started.
Certainly nothing that Newton would not have recognized or couldn't have grasped.
I'm now going to click record.
Newton could grasp anything, but some ways of thinking about it.
Now remember the shortcut keys I told you about? 1 to 5 colour coding. So if I come up to here, red will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can always change the order of those colours, chunks, by going to select colour option. So I'm using 1 as important. So every time I hear something important, I'm going to hit the 1 number.
The first equation, of course, is F equals ma. Force is equal to mass times...
As you see, I pressed it, it continuously colour codes it. So if I want to go back to default, default will be 0, so that will be the original colour. So if I hit 0, it goes back to default. Just keeps you highlighting the information as you're going along. I might decide number 2, blue. That could be... I need to do further research on that maybe.
On a particular, let's call it a test object. A test object is just some object...
And then again, to go back to default, hit the 0 button.
To test out the various fields, force fields that might be...
I'm now going up to record button to stop it. And as you can see, I've now recorded my chunks. So if I click at the beginning, I can then use the playback button to listen to it back, and I can carry on, continue to colour code them, what's important. So as you listen to it back, then I can start choosing what is relevant and what might not be relevant. As you can see, really powerful bit of software. Also, when you're playing it back, try and remember the shortcut keys. I'll show you what they are in a minute. Click play. If you hit spacebar, that will pause it. Hit spacebar again, it will carry on. So use that shortcut key, really handy. Saves you having to go up the top there and clicking that button. So it's spacebar to play, spacebar to stop. Another option you'll want to do is, when you get back, you want to get down your notes regarding your lecture. So click into the text pane, and you can start doing your notes. So to make life easier, we need to jump from each section. So we need to play the audio section, and you can write your notes. There's another shortcut key for this. It's Alt, Command, and then use the arrows. So hold Alt down, then Command, and choose direction of your arrows. And you can see I'm clicking left, right, left, left, and that will jump you from one to the other. So if I was to click into the audio section, then click the space bar, which will play, then hold Alt Command down and click left, I can do my notes. Using 1 as important. So every time there's something important, I'm going to hit the 1 and just get your notes down quickly. Once you do that, remember your shortcut keys, Alt Command, and then I can jump back into the audio and click spacebar to pause it. So effective to get your notes down. Also, let's go back up to where you've got your notes down here. I can then colour code them as well. So by highlighting them, I could then colour code relevant information. And you see as I highlight it, look what happens at the top here. It's now changed the text colours. So I might go, right, that is really important, I'm going to make that red. You see how visually effective it is? It just organises each slide to the audio. Great for revision. I'm going to jump back to the actual chunks. The reason why they give you chunks to do it with is because it gives you the option for annotation. Let me show you what I mean. If you've got more visual control over your audio, there's more you can do with it. You might go, actually, I'm going to click in there and click play and have a little listen. And then you might decide, actually, that shouldn't be there, so just highlight it. Hold the left button, highlight the chunks, hold the left button and drag it down where you want it. And then you move it out. It just cuts and pastes it for you into the next section. There again, you might come up here and go, oh, this isn't relevant. I've highlighted everything blue that's not relevant. Well, there's a couple of options we can do here. We could actually extract the red or blue options. If you come to the top here, And let me show you these options quickly. We have File, which is your basic options for opening, importing images and slides, which we can do from the ribbon anyway. We have Edit option. Now there's a great option here called Extract Colours. Now it's asking me what I want to extract the audio to sections. Well, section wise I haven't colour coded anything yet. I'll show you that in a minute with the section colours, but audio I have. Now again, it depends what you want to use red and colours for. It's entirely up to you how you want to band, but in this case I'm going to go red's the most important. So if I click extract audio, it's only going to give me the colours that I've actually used, so it makes life a lot easier. So I'm thinking, right, I don't need blue, I only need the key stuff information there. Now if I come up to here, I can choose where I want to export it into a new document. You can create one, I'll show you in a minute, but let's just click OK, show you how it works. Now it's brought up a new document, so it takes the slide, your notes and the audio that's relevant to that. Then click up into speaker, put the speaker's name in, and then you can put the topic in and add additional information, for example key points, and that's how you separate it. Don't forget though to go to the top, file, and also make sure you save as. You can click save, but I always click save as because then you know exactly where you're saving it to, so you don't lose it. So let me go back again, so I'm going to close that one, and that will take me back to the original, so I won't save that. Now at the top here, I talked about visual panes earlier. Now the second option is not selected, and that's a reference pane. I'm going to tap that. Now I recommend using this for a couple of reasons. One, we can take all the text from the slides, put them into the reference pane, highlight them, prepare it, even add additional information before the lecture even starts. Or you might choose, if you're doing an interview, one to have the reference pane as the question, so type in the questions you want to ask. Then you can type in your answers in the text pane, and you're also recording the interview as you're going along. Now, let me show you another good section about this, what makes this so great. I'm going to take this bottom section here, I'm just going to delete that, come back up to here. If you're recording something, obviously you're going to change slides. You need to go to the next section. So we're going to use another shortcut key here, and it's really important you write these down and learn them off by heart. So let me show you. So let's start the lecture again.
Actually, I'm not sure how much of this.
And I'm going to click the record button. Now let's just say they've changed to slide 2. Hold command down and click the enter key. And then it moves down for you. Then you can carry on listening. And again, don't forget your colour coding. You might be in slide 2 and decide, actually, I'm going to make that a certain section colour because that's a really important slide. Remember the shortcut keys, 6 to 9 section colour, 1 to 5 colour chunk colours. So let's give it a go. So I'm going to press number 7. And if I come up here, and there we go, number 7. And then again you can colour code with your chunks by going 1 to 5. So I'm going to say number 2. And then number 1 for really important. And then click record button to stop again. And that's how easy it is to start organising all your lectures and audio. But let me show you this reference pane, I find it's really useful. Why don't I take all the text from the slides, put them to the reference pane, and that way you can highlight them, maybe listen to them back. Come to the top and select Edit. In the Edit button, come all the way down and select Copy Slides Text to Reference Pane. And if I scroll up, you'll see all the text is now in the reference pane, which enables me to then highlight if I require information I might need, or even add additional information, like maybe there's a website you need to check for referencing. And you see it's a great way to organise stuff. Let me show you as well, to click at the beginning, we can even play that back. Do a right click, 2-finger tap or right click on the pad, and you have your speech options there. And then you can select start speaking.
The world's most important 6-second drum sample and what it tells us about copyright law today by Nate Harrison from studio.com.
And then click Ctrl S to stop that. Now I've got a shortcut key for that as well that I like. I'm going to show you quickly. Go to your Apple, select System Preferences, and then select Dictation of Speech. On text to speech, where it's text to speech, see where it says speak selected text when the key is pressed. Change the key to one that you're comfortable with. I tend to use Control S because it doesn't seem to affect any other shortcuts on the Mac, and it seems to work perfect. Choose your voice there. I've got Serena. If not, customize and download free. And then choose, make sure you get your speed right as well. And close. So that's another great option. Plus, if you click into here, you can also read back your own notes that you've made from the recordings as well, if you require. You also have there spelling and grammar check. You can extract your colours there from here as well, without not needing to go to the top. And change your layout orientation. I prefer horizontal, but you might prefer vertical for the text. Doesn't really work for me, that one, but you could use it on the other side. It'll be useful. Do a right click and change back horizontal. Also, after each slide section, you might decide I need another little section there that you can add additional information. So by clicking insert, I've added another section underneath. You could have additional audio or notes. I would probably colour code them both the same. So click on the two sections, make them the same colour so you know they're kind of relevant together. But again, it's totally your choice how you want to work that. We can go to presentation mode quickly. Have a little look how it's looking. And there we go. Great for revision. You've got the text on the slides all there ready. You've got your own notes and you've got the audio. So if I click at the beginning there, tap up, first slide comes up, click play, and then it will start playing back for you. Really powerful option. Click the X to close it. If you don't want a section, no problem. Click into that section and you've got the remove option at the top right hand corner. Come up to edit, you can undo in section break, undo it, or Command Z, which is the undo button. As I say again, it's really handy to start remembering these shortcuts keys because it will save you so much time. I'm just going to quickly export that because we can export that to iTunes or as a rich text format. So I'm going to go down to export and I'm going to send it to text and images. Choose what you want to export. I should leave the images, which is your slides. I should leave the reference pane, which is your own notes, or the text from the slides, and my own notes, and click OK. Choose where you're going to save it to. Pop it on my desktop. I should leave it as default, and click Save. And let's have a little look, see how it's come out. And there we go. Ready to print out or just use as revision. How powerful this is, and if you highlight it, remember the shortcut key you just created, Control S,
The future of art with copyright.
that will then read back for you as well. Open up Audio Notetaker. Again at the beginning I showed you how it saves, just in case there's a crash or whatever, but always make sure you save it yourself as well. Save as, and choose where you're saving it to. You can also export it to iTunes if required. On the edit option, I've done copy slides text to reference pane, but you can copy all text and images if you require as well. Format, you can insert section break remove by pressing the button or learning the shortcut keys that are there as well. You can choose to view your panes, your reference panes, text pane, but you can also do that visually on here as well, much easier. But if you learn the shortcut keys, again, it saves you time. Audio, you can increase speed up, increase volume up and down with the shortcut keys. Manage, if I click view notes files, it will bring up all your note files that you've got on there already and all the ones you've saved that you can access quickly, as you can see there. So if I double tap, it will then open up a one I did earlier. Also, you have your help options and you have a great tutorial there as well. If I click on tutorial, it will bring up an interactive tutorial where you click on the beginning and you click play. If there's important information, you listen to it back. You could always use the colour coding, couldn't you? Remember? One will make it red, and you can do it that way. So that could be useful as well. And close that, and don't save. Just to let you know, you can import audio from an external source, and when you do, when you plug it in, you obviously get the drive icon onto your Mac desktop. Just select audio and then find it as the drive down here and then import it. You can import the audio that way. When you're importing audio, it's good to get some way of separating each audio with an index button or bookmark button, so that way when you import it, it will import into the relevant slide. Otherwise you have to copy from one section to another like this to put them in the correct one, holding the left button down as well. And if you do get an utterance, you can see there's one long block is one utterance where there's no gaps in the speech. If you actually right click on it, you can split it, because there might be only one part of that utterance you actually want. So if I click split chunk, I've now split it, and that way you can take or get rid of what you don't want. So I click delete and get rid of that. It makes it so much easier to highlight it and then colour code by pressing the button or just tapping on it. That's a quick video on using Audio Notetaker on the Mac. Should be enough to get you up and running. But go to the Audio Notetaker website. They've got some fantastic videos when you get more into it. Thanks for watching.